You guys were asking me to update my Creed fragrances video, the top 10 or top 20 Creed fragrances video, and I figured it was time to do it this week because last week I did the AVENTUS 10th anniversary video. It is celebrating 10 years, obviously. It was launched in 2010. So I thought, you know what, it's time for me to update this list this week since the last one I did was about 3 years ago. One of the fragrances that I'm going to talk to you about today that's in this list is a fragrance that I've been wanting to review, as I have not reviewed on the channel here. I did review it on the previous channel, which is no longer. So today I've got my top 10 Creed fragrances video for you. Plus I'll do 3 additional fragrances that are not fitting in the top 10. So if you want to find out what they are, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. That's right, today we're talking about Creed fragrances and the top 10 list and a rank list. We have 3 honorable mentions and I'm going to tell you all about these fragrances. Is it one of my favorite houses? You guess. You watch my videos. What do you think? Some of the fragrances I do really love, but you know, I have a lot of these fragrances. They're fun to wear, they're fun to smell, they're fun to, you know, talk to people, and you know, some people that come to my studio here when it's not pandemic to discuss clients and such. But let me know if you think it's one of my favorite brands. But before I get to the list, if this is your first time tuning into my channel and you still haven't subscribed, please do click the subscribe button below and also click the bell so you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So who is a fan of Creed? I know a lot of folks love Creed, a lot of folks don't love Creed. I know a lot of vaulted fragrances from Creed were amazing, and as I said, or maybe I didn't say, I thought, if you caught my previous top 10 list, I did discuss a lot of the vaulted fragrances, which I have some. Royal Leather, I think, Royal English Leather. I also have Windsor, and I have Royal Ceylon. I think that's all the vaulted fragrances I have from Creed. And I love those fragrances, but I'm not covering them today because they're not easy to get, but I have the top 10. And we're going to start off right off the bat with one that actually did not make the list. Where is it? Here it is. It did not make the top 10, obviously, but I have it. It's number 13. It's Creed MILLESIME IMPERIAL. Why isn't this in the top 10? In the end, it's an aquatic, but it's a fruity aquatic, salty notes, marine notes, woodsy notes, musk, lemon, bergamot, mandarin. It's a pleasant fragrance. It's a great fruity fragrance, but when I'm ranking the list together, it just doesn't fit the top 10, obviously, because I have my other favorites in the top 10. But in the end, you know, it's fun. If you want it fruity with aquatic touches, melons, I think is what I get with this one mostly, more like cantaloupes and things like that, then this is one for you to try. So it's number 13, Creed MILLESIME IMPERIAL. Now this one ended up at number 12, AVENTUS Cologne. Why is it here? Because we already have AVENTUS. Did we really need an AVENTUS cologne? I guess it was okay to make one for them to make money off of a flanker, because a lot of people clone AVENTUS, obviously. But in the end, it's a fresher take on the original. The original Creed AVENTUS is pretty fresh. Do we need this one? Let me know if you're fans of it. Do you have it? Let me know. But in the end, this is all about musk, mandarin orange, birch wood, tonka, patchouli, vetiver, sandalwood, pink pepper, ginger. Where's the pineapple? In the end, it doesn't really smell pineapple-y, but it does. Does that make sense to you guys? I think it's a pleasant fragrance, but when you have the original, do you really need another one that smells fairly close to it? Creed AVENTUS Cologne at number 12, or my second honorable mention. At number 11, or my third honorable mention, we have HIMALAYA. So HIMALAYA reminds me of another fragrance in this list that I will tell you about that I did not own previous to this video. I recently picked it up because a lot of you were telling me, why didn't I feature that fragrance in the video I recently did, a top 20? So I had to get it. But it reminds me of the other fragrance a little bit, not a lot, but sort of it does. But Creed HIMALAYA is all about musk, ambergris, sandalwood, bergamot, grapefruit, lemon, cedar. It's a very, very clean fragrance. It's, to me, it acts fluffy. I don't know, it's just like a soft fragrance. There's like almost like you're touching and holding onto a cloud, or maybe cotton balls. I just get that reaction with this one. In the end, it's fun, it's nice, but it just didn't fit the top 10. I have it, I like it, I wear it, and I show it to friends and clients and things like that. So in the end, at number 11 is Creed HIMALAYA. So are you ready for the shocker? At number 10, it's number 10, AVENTUS, way down at the bottom. Yeah, I had to put it in the top 10 because, you know, as I said in the anniversary video, it is a dumb reach fragrance, but it really does smell great. It does garner compliments. It just works great with chemistry. Like once it mixes with your chemistry, the sillage and the trail you leave behind, and that's what really gets people's attention. Their sense of smell picks it up, and they react really positively to it. But in the end, it's not anything groundbreaking. It's not like I'm a perfume aficionado. Am I going to say Creed AVENTUS is my favorite fragrance? No, but you know, those are the times when I want to wear something and I don't want to think about what I'm going to wear. I reach for it. It's easy to reach. It's a dumb reach fragrance. Anyway, Creed AVENTUS, number 10. The notes are, everybody knows it's the pineapple, birch, woodsy notes, black currant, bergamot, apple, oak moss, vanilla, a little bit of I think I said apple, jasmine maybe perhaps as well. Those are the notes in this one. It's a great fragrance. I mean, it wouldn't be copied so much if it wasn't. It's just not like groundbreaking, you know? This is another shocker, guys. I think it's going to shock a lot of people, but I slowly grew into this fragrance, but for the longest time, it reminded me of a fragrance that I wore in the 90s. And this actually, not 90s, in the 80s. Very, very late 80s, I wore this fragrance from Coty, a green bottle. Can you guess? Green Irish Tweed. It's number 9. Yes, I have this. And even though I like it, I don't love it. It's kind of a back and forth. Sometimes I really dig it, sometimes I don't. What I like this one about it's got these ozonic, watery qualities. Not aquatic, but water as ozone and things like that. And it's got a prominent violet leaf with an astringent kind of lemony, lemon verbena note. But it also has ambergris. And the ambergris doesn't go into the aquatic direction or even the animalic direction too much. It's just a watery experience, but kind of gelatinous. If you ever peeled violet leaf, you get that kind of jelly-like, very, very minute amounts, but it is that after all, and that's the kind of experience I get with this. It's a great fragrance. I know there's many, many fans of this one, but some of the other fragrances I really enjoy a lot more. In the end, this ended up at number 9. So it's Creed's Green Irish Tweed at number 9. And then the next one is the new fragrance I bought that you guys mentioned to me quite a bit. Why didn't I feature this fragrance in my tea fragrances video? So I had to get it, and yes, I do enjoy it. It's quite nice. In fact, when I first got into the hobby, I really loved it. I actually had decants of it, and I had a lot of clones of it, so I thought, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pick it up again. This is Silver Mountain Water at number 8, and this is a tea fragrance. It's very tea-like, and also you can pick up the tea as in the tea notes, but there's also this kind of like earthy, slightly herbaceous quality of it in here as well, hidden in the background. And this one kind of, sort of reminds me of Himalaya as well, just kind of like they're distant relatives or something. That's kind of why I felt like, you know, I like this a little more than Himalaya. But this one's all about green tea. There's musk, there's black currant, bergamot, sandalwood, petitgrain, and galbanum. Great scent. I really love it. I think now that I have it, I can keep wearing it and see if it's going to move up in the list. But for now, I really enjoy it at number 8. Next up, we're going to the fragrance Virgin Island Water at number 7. So why is this at number 7? Because everything else coming after this is going to get really good. And again, Creed is not one of my favorite houses for a real perfume aficionado, if I should say. Creed is a very upscale or upper scale, I guess I should say, kind of like designer appealing niche house. It doesn't have anything like challenging in their roster of fragrances. They're all very, very mass to me. Like, it's not in a derogatory way when I put mass. It just means that a lot of people could appreciate it, and it's not going to get like odd or weird or, you know, strange or intense. A lot of the fragrances are also very similar in potency and, you know, with the sillage and also the projection and the longevity. They're very, very similar. They're not really long lasting. They're not really overwhelming. They're not really like beast mode. They're just really great wearing experiences. If that's all you want, I think Creed is a good house. If you want to smell great, if you want pleasant fragrances, great fragrances with different notes in it that are mass appealing. I think Creed is a great house. A lot of people do complain that they're expensive fragrances, and they are, because they're over $400 for some of their fragrances for 100 ml, so that's quite pricey. But Virgin Island Water, it ended up here. It was going to be tossed up with a few others, but I ended up putting it here. But I do really enjoy this one. It's a great coconut fragrance. It's boozy, and coconut, lime, rum, sugar, musk, ginger. And this one actually layered together with AVENTUS, you get that pina colada kind of quality, cocktail mix or something. Great way to layer and have a fun layering experience. But in the end, it's a great fragrance to experience like you're on a vacation holiday, an island getaway with, you know, cocktails and coconuts and sea breezes and things like that. A great scent. That's Virgin Island Water at number 7. So this next fragrance, I'm at the very bottom of my fragrance. Do I want to pick up another bottle? We'll see if I do, but it's the one that really smells very, very classic to me. Very classic. This is Bois de Portugal right here. And this one actually really does remind me of older gentlemanly green aromatic fougere, slightly barbershop woody fragrances. It kind of just reminds me of those kind of fragrances. It's very, very classic. It's classy. A lot of younger noses might think it smells old and tired and grandpa or something, but I really love this one. It's a great scent. Lots of lavender with this one, lots of sandalwood, bergamot, cedar, vetiver, ambergris. It doesn't go out of style. I think I've heard people say that it's Frank Sinatra's signature fragrance. I don't know how true this is, but it's a great classic fragrance. Unfortunately, though, it's at number 6 because I have other favorites. But if you're looking for the classic fragrance from Creed, this is the one for you to try. I'm surprised this has not been vaulted. I guess they have a pretty big audience for it, so people keep buying it, and I guess, you know, it's a great scent. I enjoy it. I wonder if you guys enjoy it as well. Do you guys like this kind of classic smelling lavender, barbershop slightly smelling? It doesn't fully go on to a barbershop experience, but it's kind of bordering there, like kind of like trying to get there. Creed, Bois de Portugal, number 6. Next, Royal Mayfair. So this is a fragrance that is a recreation or retelling of Windsor. Windsor I have a bottle of. I have 3/4 left. It's a 50 ml atomizer refill program I had taken part of back in 2013, 2014, and I've cherished that away in the dark. This is a very close version of that fragrance, and I really enjoy it. It's number 5. It slipped a little bit because I have a few other things now, but in the end, it's a sleeper for me. It's not one of the, you know, the big Creed, what do you call it, the hyped ones. But in the end, it's eucalyptus, rose, gin, lime, pine tree, or pine fir note of cedar, orange. The combination is great, and it does kind of hint at Windsor. It comes close, but it's not identical. But it's a great, great scent. If you like the smell of eucalyptus, you've got to try this one. I think it's a great scent. It just, some people might think it smells a little mature. Anyway, I love it. Anyway, Royal Mayfair, number 5. Number 4, Viking. Viking to me is another one that's kind of classic smelling but modern at the same time. For me, I feel like there's some ambroxan in here, even though they're not mentioning it, but I feel like there is. But there's loads of lavender, so there's also lots of vetiver. It just feels like a barbershop, modern barbershop fragrance, kind of going into a more concentrated lavendery, almost, I was going to say sauvage, like the Dior's Sauvage, not Eau Sauvage, but Sauvage. But it's almost like, as I'm saying, I get like, almost like I get ambroxan in here. There's just something in here that acts like ambroxan, which I don't see that they're mentioning in the notes. But there's lots of lavender, there's lots of vetiver, sandalwood, musk, bergamot, lemon, patchouli. But in the end, when I wear it, I just feel like there's ambroxan kind of going into that sauvage direction, but a lot of the other notes are amped up as well, like the lavender, vetiver, sandalwood, mint. So it's a very, very aromatic experience, but a great scent. That's why it's at number 4. I don't know if you're fans of this one, let me know, but Viking at number 4 from the House of Creed. All right, so number 3 is going to the vetiver fragrance from Creed, and I'm not talking about original vetiver, I'm talking about vetiver geranium, this one right here. What a fragrance this is. This is so good. It's a great representation of not only vetiver, but geranium. If you love geranium and fragrances, this is it. Geranium has this very rosy nuances and minty touches. So you have that experience here with the geranium. Then you have the earthy, woody, slightly damp, a little light moldiness of a vetiver smell, which I really like. The combination is great. But it's freshened up with lemons and green apple. What a great scent. Musk, cedar, bergamot, and amber. I think this is a true vetiver, but a combination of vetiver with geranium in this fragrance in comparison to original vetiver, which to me, original vetiver smells more like a citrus to me, hardly any vetiver. And I know there's fans of it, and it smells great, don't get me wrong, but to me it doesn't act vetiver-y. This one really does, and I love it that they've combined it with a great aromatic note of vetiver. It's a great scent. If you don't know this one, do check it out. Vetiver Geranium from Creed at number 3. Number 2, I'm going to the very bottom of this fragrance. It's very, very pricey. Creed has done so many price changes, size changes, everything has changed, and now they have actually been sold to, like some corporations have bought parts of, or you know, portions of Creed, I think a couple of different companies. So they've been doing a lot of changes, and this, when I bought this fragrance, it was a lot less than what it is now. They've just totally amped the price up. This is Spice and Wood in their really expensive collection, and this is at number 2, and I'm obsessed with the smell. It's such a great scent. I just wish it was a little more deeper and richer and a little more intense, but that's what Creed is. They don't get really deep and rich and heavy. They're kind of very light wearing experiences, but great, great scents. There's some great, great fragrances, and this definitely is my number 2. I love this one. It was a toss-up between this and Vetiver Geranium, but in the end this one won out, and it's fantastic smell. So freaking expensive though. It's over $1,000 for this price. Over $1,000. That is a lot of money. This is a 250 ml or 200. I bought this one in 2014 or 2013, and this is how much I have left. I can't remember, but I bought it for around 700, I think, when I back then. Now it's over 1,000. It might have even been 600. I can't remember. But Spice and Wood, what a fragrance. Check it out if you don't know it. It's a fresh fragrance, but all very woody with some light fruity touches. Oakmoss in there, musk in there, cedar, lemons, a fantastic smell. And my favorite fragrance from the house of, if I can find my favorite fragrance, it's right here. From the House of Creed, my number 1 favorite fragrance, and this is the fragrance I've been wanting to review again. I had an old review of it. Very, very bad lighting too. I have my copies saved, and I was looking at it the other day. Very, very bad lighting. I would never air those videos anymore. Royal Oud, my number 1. And this is the very first fragrance I bought from Creed. I bought this. This is a new bottle, obviously, but my old bottle is back there somewhere. And it smells... It's a great scent. It's my favorite because the cedar in here is so prominent. That cedar is great. And me being from Lebanon, and this whole Cedars of Lebanon thing reminds me of a cedar forest with lots of spices and other woods and things like that, if that makes sense. There is some oud in here, but for me it's not about oud. It's not about oud, it's about cedar. It's a very spicy cedar fragrance with touches of oud. There's some bitter touches of angelica and galbanum in here, but lots of musk. It's a fantastic smell. I wish it had a little more depth and oomph to it. I wish it was a little more beefy, but once again, it's Creed, and their fragrances are not known for that. They're definitely not known for that. But if you want a classy fragrance, because I think a lot of Creed's fragrances are ultra, ultra classy, then this being the classiest of them all, then you should definitely try Royal Oud. It's my favorite, and I love this fragrance. It would never go out of style. When I first had bought it back in 2012 or 2013, I had my brother smell. He immediately was transported back to our home country, the cedar. Anyway, there is one thing in here that I should point out before I stop talking about this fragrance. There is a little bit of a tobacco-ish, ashy, woody, burnt smell in the background. And I think it's just a reaction of the different notes together, making it this kind of like, almost like a smoked cigarette that's been put out an ashtray. But I like that part about it. It smells great. It smells kind of mature a little bit, but still very young. And also, you know, just kind of like a little interesting to add that kind of like burned ashy quality that's in here. That really is great. Anyway, Royal Oud from the House of Creed is my #1 favorite fragrance. My number one. I love that fragrance. I think I might have to put my 20 ever favorite fragrances video, and that will be in that video for sure, because it's just a great smell. It's a great smell, and those are the kind of fragrances I like from Creed. They have to have some uniqueness to it. I don't have a fragrance that smells like that. Even though I feel like the cedar is dominant, I feel like it's a very, very unique cedar experience. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. I did want to also mention that I have a few female targeted Creeds. I left them off, Floral Lee and also Aventus for Her. I decided to leave them off, but if you're a fan of Creed's feminine fragrances, let me know, especially if you're a woman. And also, if you're a woman watching this video, are you a fan of any of these fragrances that are targeted to men? Because every single one of these fragrances is for men, except I think this collection might be unisex. I think it is. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. As I said, if you have any questions or comments, please list below. Otherwise, please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye. Oh, one more thing I want to mention. T-shirts. This is All That Good Stuff t-shirt. If you don't know it, please do check it out. I am selling them now. Did I say all that good stuff in this video yet? Did I? I don't even remember. I never even knew I was saying all that good stuff. But anyway, the t-shirts are available. Thanks so much. Have a good one. Bye.